Trump is even more dangerous than Hitler. Trump has said, if we have nuclear weapons, why don't we use them? Let's have a nuclear arms race to demonize and to drive people to live in the margins in constant fear, and more fundamentally, to drive them out, and if not, to actually force them out and deport them, as millions of families now live in terror. The Democrats will normalize and collaborate with the regime because keeping the system going is more important to them than what this regime will mean for the masses of people and the future of humanity. No, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. Beginning of the call to action for Refuse Fascism. And today, as I said, we're going to dig deeply into it. The short answer to this question of why this is our sole objective, our mission, driving out the regime, is because they are bringing fascism. The Refuse Fascism call to action is the sharpest analysis of what has changed with the assumption of power of the Trump-Pence regime. There is nothing else that identifies the problem as fascism so sharply and so succinctly, and nothing else that provides a way forward commensurate with what humanity faces. Back to the call. It says the resistance is righteous and necessary, but it is not sufficient. Fascism's basic elimination of what has been democratic rights, the right to dissent, and here I'm not papering over the repression that normally goes on against opposition forces in the society, but what fascism discards in these traditional rights will make it immeasurably harder to fight for any kind of liberation. Fascism is a qualitative change in how a capitalist and imperial society is governed. And it uses the violence of the mob and the state to demonize, attack, and destroy and divide people. The character of fascism is that it can absorb separate acts of resistance while continually throwing the opposition off balance by rapidly moving its agenda forward. The Trump-Pence regime will repeatedly launch new, highly repressive measures, eventually clamping down on all resistance and remaking the law if they are not driven from power.